Welcome to Let's Chat, episode 8. I'm David Berry. Well, with me today, looking a bit different. It's not Graham Cooper, it's Dane Lazarus back in the chair, mate. How are you?
Mate, going well. Glad we got rid of Coops. And got me back. Thank you.
We'll talk about Coops a little bit later on, but to mention why he's not here, the man, the great man, will be having his first game in the middle Super Rugby debut for the man. Very, very excited for Graham Cooper. He's taking on the Brumbies Rebels game tonight in Canberra, I believe.
Yep. How
good is that?
Good on him, Bloke, he can ref. He's a terrible player. So definitely picked up the whistle earlier. Confetti Cooper, he's known around the clubs.
Yep.
So, mate, keep the boys on the park, I reckon.
Yep, Subway sandwich artist, throwing the cheese around every way, which way. And I reckon you'll have to be very good at the breakdown this tonight. And also, I reckon we might see a few truck and trailer calls for the Brumbies. Maybe Falafanga not going over for as many tries tonight. So, Coops will be hard on it. We'll talk about him more. Let's dive straight into results from the Fortescue Premier Grade last weekend, Dane. Start off, we called this. Perth Bayswater were going to put some points on Curtin, and they did. Although more than what I said. I said 40. They actually put 66 on Curtin. Not a good day for Curtin. They were 0-3 from 1s, 2s and 3s. Pretty standard, really.
They're doing okay.
That's right.
Okay. They're scoring some points at least.
Correct. According to a source, Richard Patterson-Hyde, their first try was actually an absolute cracker. So when they are getting it right, they're getting it right. They just need to probably put 80 minutes of footy together.
That normally works.
Expert commentary from Dane Lazarus today. Here we are. Next up, Wanneroo. Just going down there to West Scarborough, 21-34. West Scarborough, we've spoken about them the last few weeks. Really young team. I like the way they play. And I love the fact that they're bloody young boys coming up through the ranks.
Yeah, that's been a massive one for the club, that they're getting these young blokes through. A couple of years' time, they'll be a real force. And, chalking up a win against Wanneroo, who made it tough.
Yeah.
Made it tough for them.
So. They've made a few games tough this year. They'll be probably a bit disappointed they haven't won a few more of those games. Both Kateka boys playing for West Scarborough always helps. Kane just putting people in an early grave.
The Undertaker.
Just doing what he does best. Kalamunda finally put some points on the board, got up over the Coastal Cavs. Another team that are almost there. They're just not getting over the line, but they got up 34-17. Kalamunda's first win of the season. Hard to believe that it's taken them this long to get a win.
Yeah, and Jack Weir apparently had an outstanding game, halfback clinic apparently. So good work, Jack, and good work, Kalamunda.
Well done. Cottesloe, this was a real wow factor. I was down there at the Nest on Saturday. I was expecting a real tight, tough game. Cottesloe getting up 55-3, so it was an absolute smashing down there at the Nest. Being down there, basically UWA just got beaten all over the park. Cottesloe's forward pack, as we know, absolutely just demolishes other teams at the moment. But even through the back line, they were just too good, and UWA, unfortunately, just didn't turn up on the day.
Yeah, what a name, Reginald Churchward, eh? Getting in Team of the Week. That's my tip for PG, I reckon. Reginald.
Oh, I don't mind it. He's got some competition there, though. The number 7, Cohen Mason, is an absolute superstar. But also, we should mention, first time in Team of the Week this season, the skipper, Tobias Hoskins. Well done, mate. He'll probably die a happy man now that he's made Team of the Week. So well done. Palmyra. Big game. We were expecting this one to go down to the wire, and it did, and we'll probably talk to Jackson. Actually, we might bring Jackson on it right now. Soaks getting up in a very close 27-22 win. Jax, you must have been disappointed with that one.
Yeah, very.
Still hurts. It still hurts.
It's still hurting him. We'll talk to him a little bit later. This game was apparently, had everything. We had a on-the-run 45-metre drop goal from Sam Healy. Apparently he kicked it and everyone had no idea what was going on, and it just sailed through.
Good.
So you know how it goes when the wind comes down there, down at the Palms. It can help. So Sammy Healy, what a game. Very well done there from Soaks. They've won 2 big games in a row now. So they're going well. And Jackson, we may not talk to you for the rest of the episode if you're going to bring that up again. Next game, Southern Lions. Huge win for them.
Massive.
Getting up over Arcs. Looks like a cracker of a game. 45-33. Well done to the Southern Lions getting that win on the board. And well done to Arcs for getting a couple of tries on the board.
That's a huge win, especially those two clubs. Massive rivalry. And Southern Lions just pipping them. And I think they may upset a couple this year in the back end of the season.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think they've come close so far. And if they can do it, they can do it.
Yeah.
Now, upset of the round, I would say. Joondalup getting over Netherlands 27-22, an absolute thriller. The Joondalup brothers are here to play this year.
Absolutely, yeah. Adam Munro, coach, stepping in this year.
Yep.
Got a couple of young blokes coming through, and then getting Kate Pearce back has been huge. He's done massive stuff in league in the last couple of years, so to come back and put in a dominating performance he's setting the cornerstone for that Joondalup back line. And Clay Ewan.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's talk about the young WA boy coming back, obviously, through COVID. He's been playing in France. He's a very handy pickup for them.
He's not bad.
Yeah, he's
all right.
He's not bad. Be interesting to see, I don't know, whatever happens with this hub and Super Rugby, if maybe the Force have got a... Who knows?
Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, keep an eye. Who do you want to keep an eye out for? Speaking of Super Rugby, let's get straight into that. What a unfortunate loss. I almost don't want to talk about it because I don't want to give the Rebels airtime. But at least it was great to see the first game go to super time. That was bloody exciting.
Yep.
But you have to say the Force had their chances to win that game, Dane.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities. There was the one little kick that missed old Jono. He would be definitely ruining that opportunity. But overall, the performances, they have kept going up. They had one little blip against the Brumbies, but they have put in some cracker performances. And young squad, some young players, Brian Ralston.
Yeah.
Mate, he can score.
Tell you what, I think we called this, off air a few weeks ago, but he's got to be a dark horse for the Wallabies.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, I agree.
Why not?
I mean, he's absolutely dusting every other winger out there at the moment.
Yeah.
So he's just such a superstar. I just think Tim came out, Sambo, the coach, came out yesterday and said, we're going to work our socks off until we get our first win. I think that's the attitude that they brought in from the very start. But, they must feel unlucky not get a win yet.
Yeah, definitely. And some great performances, though, by the boys, individual performances. You got Starwers and Stander really showing their case. And I guess Ollie Jackson.
Yeah, he was unreal.
Yeah.
He came on early, young boy as well, thrown in the deep end, and
Is it pretty exciting seeing one of your mates, you're in a pretty similar position in sort of where you are in your rugby, is saying that you could be there too? Is that a good thing to see?
Yeah, no, big time. Yeah, very proud of him.
Yeah, excellent, mate. He has been incredible too. He came on and played, 70 minutes of footy the other day?
Yeah.
And he just looked like he'd been there for 10 years.
Getting some turnovers.
Yeah.
Couldn't shift him.
Yeah.
Something to watch, and I think he's got it all.
Yeah.
Just a bit more time under his belt now, and he should be able to put in some solid performances. And
yeah, I think a few other players that have gone sort of under the radar. Fergus Lee Warner is just an absolute star. Such a workhorse.
Beast.
Yeah, just bangs people all parts of the ground. The other one I wanted to mention is Jack McGregor. I actually think he's been really consistent.
Yeah.
I think his field kicking's been really good as well, which is sort of going under the radar. And Johnny Lance and him, I think, are connecting really well. So there's a few things that are going right for the Force. They just need it all to come into place and click, and then the full 80 minutes. And then at the death, they need to get it done.
Yeah, it's definitely at the back end, and having Carl Godwin, Rich Kohu in the centres, it sort of helped solidify it a little bit, and they added a little bit of spark. So that it's getting polished.
Yep.
We're going to finish. We're going to come on strong.
Oh, I like that. Lazarus calling it early. Keeping on, let's get back to Graham Cooper, our mate. My former host probably won't get a gig now that the big man's back in the chair. He's out. But I think this is a long time coming for Graham Cooper. He's been a professional referee now for probably close to a bloody decade.
Oh, if not longer.
And, he's really struggled to get in the middle just because it's been so competitive in the Super Rugby competition. But now he's in. Big game too, just throwing baptism of fire, take on the Brumbies and the Rebels. I just think if there's one man that's fit and ready for this challenge, it's Graham Cooper.
Absolutely, and he's reffed a ton of games at the NRC level. These players, it is a step up, Super Rugby, that aura, but at the same time, he's cool, calm, composed. He knows rugby, he's played it, so he's not going to see anything unusual. It's just around the scrum. He has no idea what happens in there, does he?
The dark arts, as they call them. No,
But
look, I think he'll be pretty decisive tonight because he's got a statement to make. Like you said, he's got the repertoire. He's been to Junior World Cups, ref to the highest level. He's ran touch for about 6 or 7 years and helped the bloke in the middle for a long time.
For a very long time.
I think he'll be looking forward to refereeing in about -4 degrees in Canberra tonight. But Coops, we just want to say from us, good luck. You deserve it. Absolutely take the challenge on and kill it, mate. We can't wait to see you soon. So, well done. Now, let's talk about the Force. We've actually got a video. Why I play. I actually watched this yesterday.
Real good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sort of, this is what you want to see from that top level, the Western Force, is the fact that they've still got the time to talk about why they play the game and who they're doing it for, because that's really what rugby's about, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of these guys are playing for their family. And I think it also comes down to guys that play club rugby, that they do it for the love of the game and the love of the family coming down and watching them play the game. So the Force put this together during the week. Have a watch. It's absolutely exquisite watching.
Probably the main reason why I play is for my little nephew. I want to leave a legacy here that says that I've helped create a pathway for not only grassroots around WA to aspire to play for the Western Force one day, whether that's for the women's team or the men's team. But especially for him, because I want to be a great role model for him, and I want him to grow up having the choice whether he wants to play rugby or not in WA.
It's Brad Lacey, and no one can stop him.
I guess why I play is that childhood dream, something I've always wanted to do, to become a professional player. I think it's also playing for my family, playing for my loved ones at home, playing for my friends, and doing them proud. There's not too many jobs in the world where you're able to inspire people, and you're able to play for people, and you're able to do things for people.
And Ralston will score the first try for the Western Force.
So I'm a very competitive person. I love competing with other players in my team. I love winning. So the reason I play is obviously to win, because I'm competitive. I like to train hard, play hard, and also for my family, I like to hope they can watch me and be proud.
And it's Fergus Lee Warner.
I've had to make a lot of sacrifices. I moved away from home at an early age, away from my family who I'm very close to. I've been away from them for 4 years now, so it hasn't been easy at times as a young guy moving away from sort of your support network and your family, but this is what I've wanted to do since I was young, so it's a sacrifice I needed to make, but they're definitely why I play the game. My mum, my dad, my two sisters, putting everything I have onto the field so they can enjoy the game and be proud of me and what I'm doing, sort of makes all the sacrifices worthwhile.
Jack McGregor, try time!
First, it's my family. Obviously, are very important to me. A family man, a big part of why I play the game. My whole family's played the game. I just love that aspect of it, and it's also playing in a team like this where our motto is being a family, and it's very much that. I guess the first moment you pick up the ball, that first time you play the game in the backyard with your brothers, that enjoyment. It's the one thing that I always say to myself before I run out. This is why I play, is because I love it and I enjoy it, and I think it's the greatest game of all.
Well, how good is that? I just think that gives me chills up my body. It's just so good. I think this Western Force group is just so tight. And I think that's why they're playing such good rugby, because they've stepped up as a core group. They just look like they're loving their footy and loving being together.
Absolutely, and the community is really getting behind them. You can see the comments on Facebook, even all the losses, the community's still there. We're supporting this team 100%, and they're doing everything they can to get that win to pay the reward to the fans.
Yeah, I think the Sea of Blue have always been there for us. Let's be honest, they've gone through some pretty hard times over the last 10 to 12 years, so they're sticking with us, and it's good to see. Moving on to up-and-coming rising star in the Western Force ranks, we've got a young man, Jackson Pugh, to my right, just here. Jackson, mate, thanks for joining us. Mate, you've been playing some pretty good footy for Palmyra the last few weeks. Been described as sort of a big, robust, loose forward, bit of a menace at the breakdown. Would you say you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe not legally, but getting away with it.
Mate, tough loss last week. How's the group going after such a strong start to the season, but you've had a couple of tough losses now against Cotton Soaks, who are probably your biggest rivals this year. How's the team sort of gripping with that?
Yeah, no, it was good to test ourselves against the top teams in the comp. I think last night we talked about getting phase play up. Had a pretty good training last night, so I think we'll be ready for this week.
And talking just about this week, who do you have this week?
We have Coastal Cavs down at the Oasis, Palmyra, so should be a good game. Bit
of a travel factor there for Coastal Cavs, so you should be able to get the win against them.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I went down to Palmyra to watch a game a few weeks ago. That's got to be one of the best grounds in WA to watch a game of rugby.
Quite pretty.
The clubhouse itself is incredible, right on the river, view of the city. It's a pretty good spectacle. I think even if you're getting beaten by 40 points, at least you've got a nice view.
Absolutely.
So do you think the Coastal Cavs will be having a loss this week, mate?
Well, with the crowd behind us, down in the shed, I think they'll find it pretty hard.
So, mate, you're obviously playing for Palmyra, but you've been in and around the Force ranks now for quite a long time, a few years now, sort of making that pathway. How has that been, being in a professional, I guess, performance sort of outlet? And is the dream still there to play Super Rugby for the Force?
Yeah, definitely. No, it's been awesome. Coming through the academies, with being under Steve Anderson, working my way up. He's a very knowledgeable man, so it's good to be under him, teaching us the ins and outs, what we've got to expect, what we've got to do. And yeah, definitely want to play Super Rugby.
And I guess looking up to the likes of Henry Stowers and I guess even Fergus Lee Warner, are those guys really helping you along through this process?
Yeah, definitely taking us young boys under the wing. If we got anything we got a problem with, go to those boys. Even Jeremy Thrush, it's a big one for us young boys, especially like Connor said the other week. Us young boys, and at this position, he takes us under the wing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic to hear. From your point of view, how close do you think the Force are to sort of getting that first win in this comp?
Well, I think this week will be a good week to review how we've been going, what we can do better and stuff. But I think, the Force, if we keep performing like we've been doing for the full 80, we'll definitely be close to getting a win.
Beautiful. Well, Jax, we hope you get a berth very soon, mate, because you're very close, I think, and I think Tim Sampson's got a very keen eye on you at the moment, which is fantastic. Dano, let's get into the next round of Fortescue Premier Grade fixtures. First off the rank, Southern Lions taking on Curtin University, and I think probably in previous years this would have been a close game, but I think Southern Lions might get Curtin this week.
I think Southern Lions coming off their win over Arcs last week, 45-33. They'll have a lot of confidence, a lot of enthusiasm going into this game, and the Goats will never give up. So you never know, but I will have my hat on Southern Lions.
Yeah, I think you're right there. That's down at Success Regional Sporting Complex. Get down there if you can get out on the weekend. It'll be a cracker match. West Scarborough taking on Cottesloe. This is another big one over at Bennett Park there. The ball ring, as they call it. Probably West still hurting a little bit from that semi-final loss last year, so they've got some bad blood to finish there. But Cotter just in such good form at the moment. West will probably need to play their best game to beat the Gulls this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all cliche. Defence will win you the game, and Cottesloe's been outstanding this year, only giving up 3 points last week. Again, that will only give them a bit more confidence in going to this week. West young, Cott dominant. I think it'll be close, but I think Cott might just pip him.
Be a cracker game. Get down there. Joondalup taking on Arcs. I think Joondalup will just keep on rolling the way they are. They'll put a good 50 points on Arcs on the weekend, I think. Hopefully Arcs turn up again like they did last week and just fling the ball around. Apparently they were just throwing it left, throwing it right, left to right, right to left, which is what you want to see.
Best way.
Exactly. And I talk about this guy every week, but we bloody love you, Russ Bird. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're an absolute star, mate. He'll be taking a few scalps from Joondalup this weekend, no doubt about it. We'll be talking about one of their players shortly in the clip of the week, Cade Pearce. He's just a superstar. So get down, get up to HBF Arena this week to watch that one. Nedlands taking on Wanneroo at the foreshore. This, again, I think will be a close game. Yep. We're seeing Wanneroo really take it up to some of the top-level teams with that four-pack they've got. So I think this will be a close game.
Yeah, Neddies didn't look crash hot last week, and getting pipped there by Joondalup would have put a bit of a dent in their armour. But Wanneroo, gee whiz, I'm quietly confident they'll get the win here, Dave.
Big call from D. Laz. All right. I think Neddies are going to bounce back, but I like that we're 50-50. Also, congratulations and good luck to Nedlands fly half Dylan Loveridge. He plays his 100th cap this weekend. 100th Premier Grade appearance as well, just quietly. So massive effort from you, Dill. Good luck, mate. Hope you get the W for Neddies. Next up, Associates taking on Kalamunda. Who knows? Maybe we've seen Kalamunda bounce back here from that first win. It's always a good game, Soaks v Cala. They played obviously in the grand final 2 years ago where Soaks got up.
Yep.
Once again, bit of bad blood there. Now, we've seen pretty much every game that Kalamunda's played this year. The first 20 to 30 minutes, they're hard, they're abrasive. It's almost like a bit of a gridlock, but then they just fall away. We need to see an 80-minute performance, and they're going to need that against Associates.
Yeah, Soaks are very good this year, and they will get up over these guys. They won't let Kalamunda forget about that grand final a couple of years ago.
I think you're right. Full back, and I think interim skipper at the moment, Robbie Ingram, having a super season. He's going to be one to stop. Basically, I don't think Kalamunda should kick the ball to him on the weekend because otherwise they'll be seeing it go straight back past him like a white flash.
Yeah.
He's been really good. And Parsi Finney, or Fine, I believe, has been immense the last few weeks. He had a pretty tough day against Cottesloe a few weeks ago, but apparently on the weekend was just mincing people.
Amazing.
Yeah, so he's a super player. UWA taking on Perth Bayswater down at McGilvray Oval. Probably the best pitch in WA to watch a game of rugby, so if you can, get down there. This will be an interesting game. Perth Bayswater coming off another big win. I think that's 4 in a row now for Perth Baysy, the Numbats. They're absolutely just on a hot streak at the moment. UWA coming off a huge loss.
Yeah, not happy.
I think this could be an upset at McGilvray.
Wow.
UWA still got a lot of injuries.
Yep.
Harry Scoble's still out. A few others. They might get Rory O'Sullivan for the first 40 this week, which is a big up. But I think Perth Bayswater, if they turn up, can beat UWA.
Yes, I know Alex Dyko, obviously coaching at UW, did coach at Basie. He'll know what Basie are going to bring, and it could be a tough day for old UW at home.
They wouldn't want to lose 2 in a row, and they wouldn't want to lose at home. They never like losing at home. Next up, Belt Up, match of the round. Belt Up round has returned for 2020 to spread the crucial message of belting up whenever you get in the car. Belt Up has been a significant contributor to Rugby WA in years gone by and continues to enhance the education of road safety around the Rugby WA community. It's hugely important that everyone looks after their family and friends by wearing a seatbelt every time you jump into a car. Should be just the rule of thumb, right? You get in, you whack it on, but it's a fantastic initiative. Belt Up round. Should be an absolute corker. My man to my right, Jackson Pugh, he'll be right in the guts of this one. It's Pally taking on Coastal Cavaliers. We were just talking about the travel for Coastal Cavs might be a bit of a drive for them. I mean, it's not too far. It's only Rockingham to Palmyra. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
But I'd really love to see Coastal Cavs turn up and play a big competitive match here. Jax, mate, tell me, you nervous about this one?
Yeah, always. No, we've got a few young boys blotting through for this round. I think we got fly half and one of the young halfbacks coming through, so it'll be good to see how they go.
Yeah, fantastic. It's good to hear blooding a few young boys. Yeah. Now, the Coastal Cavs still hunting on their first win, Dano. Do you think they can do it this weekend?
It'll be very tough. The view might distract them a little bit, but they will no doubt put in a strong performance, and their forward pack is always physical. And old Jackson here is going to have his hands full at the breakdown. He'll get a few whacks for sure, but Pally should just be too strong. They should bounce back from that loss and hopefully get up for Jackson's sake.
Love that.
But really love the underdog and hope Coastal maybe get that elusive win.
Oh, okay, Dane Lazarus. Well, that's it for fixtures this week. Get down and watch some community grade rugby, premier grade, reserve grade, third grade, community grade, whatever you do. Junior rugby's back as well. I think in a time like this in the world that we are, with everything that's going on around the world, especially in Melbourne, get down and support some local sport and enjoy yourselves, because we're lucky to be in Perth. And I think if you can get down and watch a game of rugby, you're living pretty well at the moment. So get on down there. Now, my favourite segment of the week, TMO Clip of the Week. Love this. Mate, Dana, what do you know about Cade Pearce?
Cade, big, fast, can do it all, mate. This guy
sounds like you, Dane.
Back in my heyday. Hammy's a bit bad now, but, mate, this guy can play. Cade, know him quite well, and, mate, he's been outstanding since coming back into that Joondalup team.
So check this out. Cade Pearce, absolutely dominating for Joondalup last weekend. Have a look at this. Have it. The big man, Cade Pearce. I tell you what, he looks like he's going to be a force in the next few years. I wouldn't be surprised if the Western Force might also be keeping a close eye on him. He's out there again this weekend for Joondalup. Looks like he's going to be taking a few souls out there. So that's it for Let's Chat this week, episode 8. Thanks for joining us, Jackson, mate. Good luck on the weekend, and thanks for coming in.
Cheers, thank you. Thanks
Hopefully work on your on-camera work, mate. You've got a bit big future, mate, so get ready in front of the camera. Also, should have mentioned this earlier, but the Cambridge Corner Store, once again, supplying us with delicious coffee. Get on down there on the corner of Cambridge Street. They're bloody brilliant. Best pie in WA. And yes, NITV, the game, live. Watch that. Also, Match of the Round, Belt Up Round. Watch that on Rugby WA Facebook. Everywhere you need to see it, it's there. So if you can't get to the game, flip open your laptop, put it on your phone, watch it live. How good's that? Rugby in WA going strong. Thanks for joining us. Dane, welcome back.
I'm here to stay.
I think I might be on my own next week. You were terrible. We'll see you next week.